Boy howdy, do we have a stinker today, because our lovely, lovely favourite part of the game, Wizards Hollow, that is a joke by the way, I did mention that I found a guide, air quotes, on one of the major tips and tricks places for Dragon City. And so today I am going to be talking about a website that is actually not allowed to be discussed on the official channels, because for any of you that aren't aware, Ditlep can be a very, very useful resource, but there are also a lot of problems with it. And a big problem that this website has, on top of the ranking being, well, wrong, as I've gone through before, is the fact that a lot of the information on this website is just, well, it's not true, or it is copy and pasted from someone else, stolen from someone else, if you will. And so the things that I would use Ditlep for as a player, because the official sources don't give this, is stuff like dragon stats, dragon skills. They're not completely accurate on here all the time, but they are much better than trying to find it in game sometimes. Specifically, like if you're looking for like damage stats and things like that. Quests are also another thing that a lot of players use this website for. However, unfortunately, sometimes players click the other buttons on the website that aren't the main page or the event pages, and they'll see things like the Wizards Hollow event, an introduction, tips and tricks, or Dragon City cheat, claim maximum rewards for Dragon TV. And so the main one that I wanted to talk about today is to cover this wonderful, wonderful RNG-based event, Wizards Hollow. I've said it so many times before, there is nothing you can do in this event, as far as we know now, that you can do to change your drop chances to guarantee a room 50. There are no patterns, there is nothing crazy about it, it is just one of the orbs on the non-safe rooms is gonna have a wizard, and that is it. There's nothing you can do to change that. However, misleading websites like Ditlep and some other Dragon City YouTubers and posters misinform people frequently about this event and other similar loot box style events. And before you even say it, no, I don't support this event as a whole in any conceivable way. I don't support loot boxes, I don't support RNG based events. The only reason I put up with them is because this game is free, and you know, we get a free product at the end of the day, and that is the only reason I can tolerate it. If this was in a full price game, there is no way in hell I would put up with this. But anyway, that is one thing aside. So I'm gonna go through this fantastic guide with you, and I'm just gonna point out how misleading this actually is, because I've actually had quite a few people message me about this before and other similar guides on this website, and I really need to make sure that players are aware of just how fundamentally incorrect this information is. And if you just wanted to have an idea of why fundamentally you shouldn't trust this to begin with, because you'll notice that a lot of the descriptions in this guide is a lot of reading, but the descriptions of how to do things are very generic to start off with, and that is my first little indicator and detector that this is probably written by AI. And just in case you don't believe me that this is probably AI generated, I did take a look at the various tips and tricks pages on this website, and using AI text generator or platforms, items, and things that, you know, can analyze the text, you'll see that it says that they are highly confident that this text was AI generated. It is a 100% probability that it is AI generated, and it is highly confident of this. So that's 100% for this set of text. We've got this one here that's also 100%. In fact, every single page that I had a look at that was tips and tricks related, it said it was 100% AI generated. So that's not always a problem, because, you know, ChatGPT and AI can be useful for certain things and very specific tasks. But you'll notice as we go through this that these guides that have been written up are not useful in the slightest, because Dragon City is not something that has such a sophisticated set of text that pops up for it when you put it into an AI generator. I've tried it myself. But anyway, let's just go through this, because when I read through this, I could not believe how fundamentally poor this was. So, what is the Wizards Hollow event? Overview. The Wizards Hollow is a permanent minigame island in DC that allows players to collect an exclusive dragon from the Hollow itself. It's a game of chances and rewards where players must navigate through 50 rooms, each containing 4 orbs. That is correct. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, we could literally open up the game and do this as we speak. And we get our leaderboard points, of course. But let's open Wizards Hollow just as we go through this guide, right? So, we've got these 4 orbs. We have safe rooms in this event as well. So, you know, every 5 rooms we have a safe room. The first few rooms are also safe rooms, but then a wizard can appear before room 5, and wizards can appear on every single room apart from the safe rooms. That is how this event works. And on the non-safe rooms, there is a chance that a wizard pops up in one of these 4 orbs. So that's fine. This is a very generic and fine description of what the event is, right? Gameplay. In each room there are 4 orbs with a random prize. Players must tap one of the orbs to collect a prize. However, there's a twist. Starting from room 5, wizards are introduced. That is wrong. That is not true at all. And anyone that's ever played the Hollow can tell you that already that is just fundamentally incorrect. And the fact that this has been up since 2023 is highly concerning and has never been edited, which shows the lack of care that is put into this. But anyway, wizards are introduced and more wizards appear as the player continues further. If a player taps an orb with a wizard in it, the game ends and the player's rewards are lost. That's technically also not correct because we have the option of obviously paying to revive, which this does not actually mention at all. Anyway, rewards. Rewards from the Wizards Hollow event vary, including food, gems, ranging from 2 to 15. I don't know where this came from, ranging from 2 to 15. If you've ever seen any of my previous Wizards Hollow runs, you can see that later on in the run, you can get way more than 15 gems. So I have no idea where this AI generator got that info from. Probably some random Dragon City player somewhere. But you'll see that I'm literally on room 3 and there's a wizard. It's literally room 3. It's not room 5 where you can find a wizard. And again, anyone that's played this event before would be able to tell you that. Because, you know, finding a wizard on room 3 is not unheard of. It's not that uncommon because it's a 1 in 4. You only have the first 2 rooms as a safe room, and then from room 3, you get a wizard. So you have to count all of that when you are considering whether it's worth to spend on this event. But anyway, going back to the guide. So, ranging from 2 to 15, golden runestones, which are used for limited collection chests. However, if a wizard is encountered, it ends the minigame and breaks your streak. There is no such thing as streaks, but I'll assume they mean streak as in not dying there, whatever the AI decided. So how to play the Wizards Hollow event. Initial steps. Before embarking on this magical journey, it's essential to understand the rules and dynamics of the game. The key is to tap on the orbs carefully, as one wrong tap could end your game. Carefully. How does one carefully tap a RNG orb? It's not really expanded upon. Progressing through the rooms. As you start surpassing room 5, again, wrong, wizards are introduced, adding a layer of challenge to the game. These wizards are hidden in the orbs, and if a player clicks on an orb with a wizard in it, the game ends abruptly, causing the player to lose all accumulated rewards. Again, that's not true because you can revive. Yes, if you end the run straight away, then that's true, but this is written in a way that almost reads as if there's no way to stop this, which is a bit weird. And then avoiding the wizards. Believe it or not, the way to avoid the wizard is not to tap the wizard. Crazy. So the main challenge is avoiding the wizards hidden. As the game progresses, more wizards are introduced, increasing the difficulty level. The trick is to proceed with caution and choose your orbs wisely. The fact that they say as the game progresses, more wizards are introduced doesn't make any sense either, because you literally saw that on room 3, we got a wizard right. It remains the exact same throughout every single non-safe room in this event. There is no difference, there is no change. It is randomly generated when you get to that room. Like when you click, that is when it randomly generates. As well, you can't use AP mode, as in aeroplane mode, to try and test out what's in the orbs. You can't do that because this uses a different system, so that you specifically cannot check. Because if you didn't know, Dragon City is a seed-based game. Essentially, you know, like in Minecraft where you type in a specific text and then you'll get the same, you know, island as anyone else. Dragon City is the same in that your drops are predetermined because they are seed-based, and that means that if you lose connection when you open a loot box, then when you reload the game, you're going to get the same drop. It means that if you lose connection or anything, you're actually saved, and you're not going to get screwed over, which is great. Look at that. What is this run? This run is crazy. I know we ran into a wizard, but oh my god. I think I'm actually going to quit this run. Which, again, they're talking about, oh, your run is ended instantly. No, man, we've got 16 gems right here. That's an 11 gem game. That is, whew, on a terror run. I'm gonna take that probably. But anyway, let's go back to the gun. But this just is misleading. There are no more wizards. It's always going to be that 1 in 4. And And so then there's a picture of one of the chests that are in the event for some reason. And then we've got maximizing rewards. One key tip for playing the Wizard's Hollow is to focus on maximizing rewards. It's crucial to tap on the orb strategically to collect valuable prizes, such as gems and runestones, while avoiding the wizards. But it won't tell you how to do this because there's actually no way to do this. It's completely RNG. There is no way that you can avoid or guarantee a certain drop. It's just, it does not exist, right? I wish that I could say, okay, on room number 6, I am gonna be able to say that the wizard's in the left-hand orb, and I'm gonna avoid that orb. But we have no way of knowing that. It is absolutely RNG. There is no way that you can know which is in which, therefore you cannot strategically click. The only thing that you can do strategy-wise is not spend your gems anymore, and when you gain like a decent reward like I have, you dip. You don't keep going. But anyway, it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. So managing the wizards. Managing wizards is another vital aspect, as the wizards are hidden in the orbs and their appearance ends the game. It's essential to tread carefully and make smart decisions, which you can't do because there's no way to know. Utilizing the revive feature. Finally, they tap on this. So reviving in the game could cost a significant number of gems. Doesn't actually tell you how many. So it's important to use this feature wisely. It's recommended to leave after the free revive if you don't have a minimum of 200 gems or a maximum of 1200 gems. So a maximum of, so we have a cap now apparently that they're recommending. If you've got 1210 gems, never play the Wizard's Hollow. What? This literally doesn't make any sense. A maximum of 1200 gems? Like that doesn't make any sense. And if we're talking about the cost of like regemming a run, that doesn't hold either, depending on how lucky or unlucky you get with the wizards. Like a maximum of 1200, let's just pulled out of someone's ass, to be honest. I don't know who posted that to begin with, that the AI picked that up, but whoever you are, you're an idiot. Anyway, moving on. That is just, I don't know, a minimum of 200 gems. There is no way to know how many gems. We have had players before that go all the way up to room 50 in Wizard's Hollow, not spending a single gem. It is incredibly unlikely, but because of RNG, it is possible to get all the way to room 50, no wizards. It has been done. We've seen proof. We've seen people post it. We've seen people stream it. It is possible, but exceedingly unlikely. That means that there is no such thing as a minimum and maximum outside of any amount of gems that you personally want to try and win the run with. So this, again, to me, makes absolutely no sense. Now, this is the paragraph that really triggers me. Common player concerns and misconceptions. The 25% chance misconception. There's a common misconception among players about the 25% chance of wizards appearing in each room. Some players have reported their experiences that the chances of encountering wizards seem to increase significantly in the later stages of the game, especially around rooms 47, 48, and 49. Except this is not proven. It is not a fact. No one has ever proven that this is actually a thing. No one in the community. We've done hundreds of runs, thousands of runs, and anytime anyone's ever claimed any sort of pattern, claimed that this is the fact, this has never ever been proven to be a thing. I know you might think, well, Social Point can be pretty scummy sometimes, so surely they're gonna end up making it so there's a higher chance of a wizard later on. What people aren't really bearing in mind is that the chances of you actually getting to those rooms in the first place, if they just leave every single non-safe room at a 1 in 4, is so unlikely that you're gonna outspend yourself by tons in most runs anyway. They don't need to fix the odds to something else for you to get screwed over in this event. You're already screwed over. This is the Gamble Man's house, and you have already been... You've already gotten a massive toe shoved up your butthole, is what's happened by you just playing this event in general. Unless you do what I do here, you click claim, and you claim and quit when you get more gems or extra rewards because you get a bit lucky. Unless you do that, you are going to get screwed over in this event to some extent in most runs. So you have to be very certain of how much your limit is of your spending before you go into this event. How much that is different for every single player, but the fact that you have websites that are seen as really important resources for players claiming that there is some sort of misconception about this is highly concerning, because there has been zero evidence ever provided. Like, because to test this, you'd need thousands of runs. Jimmy down the street having this happen to him once or twice does not prove that this is something that is factual. This has never been proven by anyone. If anyone's got thousands and thousands of runs to back this up, fine, I would be happy to hear this. But as far as we're aware, this is BS. Do not believe this for a second. So this particular paragraph really triggers me, because then you see players saying, oh, well, there's going to be a wizard on room 47. The reason I say that is because I assume I'm going to get the worst luck possible. That doesn't mean that I assume the chance is different. The only reason I can proceed with that is because 1 in 4, you might run into one in the last 3 rooms. It's, you know, it's probably going to happen in one of them. It might not, but there's a good chance it might. So I don't gem in these parts of the run unless I am certain that I can afford it. So I think this is just misinformation, blatant misinformation. Then the gem cost issue. Many players have expressed concerns about the high gem cost associated with the event, particularly relating to the cost of revives. Some players report needing to spend up to 600 gems to reach the top. Up to 600 gems? Babes. I'm calling AI generated babes right now, but if 600 gems is on the cheaper side. That's if you have an okay run going through. 600 gems for a lot of people is nowhere near enough when they're going through. It can cost way over 1k gems. People have spent that before on getting karmas, for instance. 600 gems does not guarantee you anything, so do not listen to this. Up to 600 gems is, again, pure BS, as one would say. Leading to debates about whether the event is worth the cost. Again, generally speaking, Wizards Hollow is not going to be your friend. You are in the gamble house, and the gamble house is designed to make you lose. Do not go into this event expecting anything, but if you happen to get lucky, fantastic. I've won runs before. I got frag karma for 35 gems recently. It can happen, but 99% of the time, you will get screwed over. That is the way of the gamble house. So, players' general discontent. The Wizards Hollow event has faced criticism from some players, with issues such as high gem costs and perceived inconsistencies with the chances of encountering wizards, leading to some dissatisfaction. Again, perceived inconsistencies. It's a 1 in 4. It's... If you know anything about chance, it is a 1 in 4. You've got 1 in 4 chance of running into a wizard. Next room. 1 in 4 chance of running into a wizard. Next room. 1 in 4 chance of running into a wizard. That is it. There is no proof that there is any sort of inconsistency with running into them, unless someone has it somewhere, which I have never seen in all my time since this event was released. So, anyway. Conclusion. Despite the challenges and controversies, the Wizards Hollow event in DC offers a unique gaming experience. Does it? This literally exists in hundreds of other games. This is as bare bones basic as you get. 1 in 4 chance, roll the dice, you're gambling. That's what this is. There is nothing unique about this. There is nothing special about this. I guess the fact that you can get good rewards is a good thing, but this is not unique, this is not special, and it is not something that video games have never seen before. Again, pure AI generated nothing. So it's a test of chance, strategy, and decision making. It's not. It is not a game of strategy and or decision making outside of, am I gonna dip or am I gonna chance it? That is it. That is the only guide or guidance that you need for this. I've gone through it so many times. Do you go? Do you not? How many gems are you willing to spend on this dragon? If it's over a couple of hundred, you're probably not getting it. So, while it may not be everyone's cup of tea, it's an event that adds variety to the Dragon City landscape. Remember, every game has its strategies and secrets, and the more you play, the better you get. I'm just going to say it right now. It doesn't matter how many times you play the Wizards Hollow event, you do not get better. You saw, I got to room 3, instantly there's a wizard. Doesn't matter how experienced I am, I could be the best or the worst Dragon City player of all time, if you can even judge people like that. makes no difference. You could literally be 3 IQ and barely even know how this event works and get to room 50 if you just roll the right numbers. That is it. That is literally all that this event is. Don't take it for something that it's not. Don't assume patterns where there aren't any. There is zero proof for any of that. So, that was an enthralling experience. I feel like I'm reading a guide for a completely different event. And then there's FAQs. What is the Wizard's Hollow event in Dragon City? Like, literally, this has already gone through that. So I don't know why it goes through this again. How do you play the Wizard's Hollow event? Again, the guide already went through that, so I don't know why it's explained. What are the rewards? Again, it was already posted above, so why has it been posted again with this streak, as if there's some sort of streak anywhere? Why do some players dislike the Hollow event? High gem costs. Again, it's an FAQ, but it's literally like the exact same sentences anyway. And is it worth playing the Wizard's Hollow event? The value of playing the Wizard's Hollow event depends on individual preferences and gem availability. For players who enjoy a challenge and have gems to spare, it can offer a unique and exciting experience. Exciting, I would agree with, but that's just because you've got your endorphins going on like full alert when you're on like room 40 and you've only spent like, what, the first 15 gems or whatever it is. But basically, when you start running into a wizard, it starts to double, and it goes into crazy territory with the costs. So that's why this guide has just been pumping out random ass numbers, because it seems whoever made this guide or whoever the AI took this from just seemingly doesn't know the costs of this event, but it'll essentially double later on, and then it stays at the fixed amount of very, very many hundreds. But all in all, I just wanted to say that do not listen to a single thing in this. It is purely AI generated, and it is not helpful. I had someone messaging me quite recently saying, oh, I followed this guide step by step, and then I was on room 45, and then I wasted all my gems, and now I've got none left, sad face. Yeah, I can imagine you did waste all your gems, because this guide is not even a guide, it's just generic nothingness. And in case you were wondering if this was like its own example and like, oh, you're just being a little bit over the top, Ditlep's really useful. If we look at the other ones, Dragon City Cheats, how to get ahead in the game. This is basically an entire guide saying, yeah, you probably shouldn't cheat because you're probably going to get banned, but you can if you want. Which I think is a big problem, because no, players should not be cheating, and most of them will get banned. And the ones that don't get banned, you shouldn't be promoting it to begin with. So it should be pretty obvious why you shouldn't be cheating in a game that doesn't allow it, and it's a multiplayer one. If you want to cheat in a single player game, go ahead, but cheating in multiplayer games with leaderboards, hell no.